From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Dennis's Heating and Air Conditioning is Northern California's premier heating and air conditioning contractor. From residential housing, large commercial projects, installation to repair, sheet metal fabrication, and everything in between, we are your go-to heating and air conditioning specialist.
Well, happy Wednesday to you all. We're about halfway through the work week, halfway through the work day, before you have only 2 more work days before the weekend gets here. But the weekend, you know, you're looking forward to probably because you're going to be off work, but maybe not looking forward to the temperatures that we'll be experiencing. Take a look at this. Now, there's actually going to be a slight drop here for today, believe it or not, before we get to this heat wave, but it's not going to be noticeable. It's still going to be hot any way you look at it. For example, Redding saw a high of 100 degrees yesterday. I think we'll get up to about 99 today. We could still touch 100. It's splitting hairs at this point, especially this time of the year, right? But the heat wave, we've been talking about, it peaks this weekend with possible record-breaking heat. As we go Saturday and Sunday in particular. But the good news is temperatures will start to drop after that. So there you can see the excessive heat watch for pretty much everyone in the valley, not to mention the surrounding foothills and mountains. But for the eastern mountains, in particular Lassen, eastern Plumas, and extreme eastern Modoc County, there's actually a heat advisory for the weekend with highs there between 95 and 105 degrees. Bottom line, it's going to be hot, and we need to be prepared for that. But not necessarily today. I mean, it's going to be hot today, just not as hot. About 100 degrees for Redding, 98 for Red Bluff, and about 96 in Chico. For the mountains, again, much like yesterday. So if you like the weather you saw yesterday, you're going to like today. 89 for Mount Shasta, Etna, 86 for Alturas, and 89 for Susanville, 90 for Paradise. That heat over Southern California, that's here by the weekend. That's the peak of the heat wave. But as I mentioned, that heat will be moving out. And it's moving over the central United States by the time we get into the middle of next week, where they will be dealing with a heat wave of their own. But for us, you know, it'll be cooler. It won't be as hot, let's put it that way. Now, we actually do have some monsoon moisture that got my eyes on, because that area of high pressure that's responsible for the heat, as it shifts to the east, we will be, at least for a couple of days, in that perfect flow in the upper level patterns where you got that clockwise flow around that high. Now, there's monsoon moisture over the desert southwest this time of the year. And when we get that flow of that jet stream and those winds right on top of us, what that does is it transports some of that monsoon moisture over us. Now, a couple of impacts. It'll mean higher relative humidity than we're used to, so it'll be a bit more muggy than we're used to. But it could also help produce some mountain thunderstorms for Sunday and into Monday as well. Mainly along the spine of the Sierra, maybe as far north as the Southern Cascades. But overall, this is a pattern I got my eyes on. This is something you're probably not hearing a lot about, but it's something I've got my eyes on and could have a minor impact on our weather by the time we get into the end of the weekend and beginning of next week. But in the meantime, sunny skies, even for the mountains. Temperatures in the mid-80s, give or take there. 86 for Alturas, 89 for Susanville. Chester, a high of about 85. For the valley, we're looking at temperatures in the mid to upper 90s. Chico, about 96. Redding, 99, 100, you know, splitting hairs. 98 degrees for Red Bluff. And there you can see Wairika, about 93. And Mount Shasta City, about 89 degrees. So your 7-day forecast. Temperatures increasing after today. Look at that, Mount Shasta, only about 89 today, but there's that increase on Thursday, bigger increase on Friday, and could touch 100 degrees or higher over the weekend. That's also the case for Alturas, and not to mention Susanville. Taking a look at your valley 7-day forecast, no question here, it's going to be very hot. Temperatures well over 100 degrees by Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even Monday. But Monday is the start of the cooling trend before we get closer to normal by Tuesday of next week.